Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy DJ Adam Creed of Track Camp ENT, and today, as I adjust my hat, we have a something special for you. It's basically a VST plugin that I discovered after doing a tutorial on Effectrix, and the name of this plugin is called Obscurium. Now, Obscurium is made by Bytes. Bytes is a fantastic company, probably one of the most slept on companies as far as sound design. Now, their sound design is naturally based upon a nice little system that they have with different effects and different ways of automation. They probably was the first company to actually have automation built within the actual plugin. This particular plugin, Obscurium, surprisingly, is very low on CPU usage, which is actually amazing for what it does. Basically, what you're looking at is a VST plugin that has you have an oscillator option right here, where you can use analog oscillation and frequency modulation oscillation, and and so basically, so forth. We're just gonna go ahead and talk about the rest of the features. What it has right here, this colorful thing right here, is X and Y axis, which has I think 24 steps or so. Apologize if I actually got that wrong. That are controlled by actually drawing areas, which I'm. So this is basically the initial. As you can see, it's cycling through its different steps. You can actually turn these steps off by just left clicking and dragging all the way over to this one. So, but that's not what we want to do, because that's not where where the magic is at. The magic is actually in its modulation, or in particular is our arpeggiation cycles that it goes to, sequencing cycles that it goes through. So with that being said, you can cycle. It has a y-axis where you actually cycle through all the different effects that you want. And as you can see, as I go through and cycle it, each and everything from type, resonance, cutoff, noise, frequency modulation 2, frequency modulation 1, frequency modulation effects, wave, pulse wave, sync frequency, the mix, the polyphony, and chord, pitch, modulation, and ARP are affected in such a way, as you can see if I drag it up and down. Now, this part from up and down actually affects different parts of this scale, which, as you can see, you have 35 hertz all the way up to 16,000 kilohertz. Now, a good representation of this is if I was to actually go into the pitch and do this. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go to the presets and stuff like that. I will have timestamps available, so for people that just don't want to know about all the sound designing, just want to hear the presets or other things and see me design it, can go and see. But anyways, back to this particular part right here, and that's just letting you know that it's going to be a lengthy video. So, as my dog entertains you by humping on that, once again, you go to, oh, hey, don't you put that on me. Don't you put that on me. As we go through this particular thing right here, which we're in pitch, by selecting this, you had to actually click on the name, and we're gonna go and talk about how you draw the lines. So right now, I cannot draw a straight line down, and that is because, as you see right here, the draw tools. You have different kinds of draw tools. You have a pen, you have a ruler, and you have a brush. And then you actually have a frequency scale right here, which you can adjust. All these can be adjusted as such. As you can see, it is drawing a sine wave within this sequencer area right here. And what that's going to do is this. So, with that being said, you can actually make that a straight line by selecting pen and just going and doing a nice little swipe down. With the pen, you also can draw up which is not going to look so cool as it doesn't look so accurate. So you don't actually have to struggle with that. You actually could just go and set the ruler, and these areas right here are all the same as far as you can select different types of pins and different types of ruler slopes, and you can just draw it and see, you got a nice line. And then you can do it in reverse and draw a half a pyramid. Plug in Illuminati. But basically, so you have this right here. And how's that sound? Real quick, you can actually see if once I press on a key that it's not playing a one note, it's playing chords. That has a direct relationship within chords, and we're going to get to that in a second. So right now, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go to the brush, which you could adjust the brushes as well. And you can see what the brush does. It brushes. So we're just going to go ahead and go back in the pen and drop this down because we only want one pitch. And this is actually this actually represents the C5 scale. So you don't actually have to, which is playing the C5 scale, but in regiment is not playing C, oops. It's not playing C, E, G, which is the basic major scale. Why is that? Because this right here, the chord area is actually moved up a little bit. And if you draw it down, let's see how it actually sounds. So it's still playing chords. So this is going to be an introduction to this area right here. And as you, and I would like to point out, if you don't know what is going on with this particular plugin, you actually can click on the show tool tips, and it will pull up the tooltips and let you know how everything works, as you can see as I go through there. So you actually can learn within the plugin if you don't know a thing about it and you're lost. That is awesome. So we're going to go ahead and go into this pitch tab. This pitch tab has different features as far as you can change the octave, you can change and detune, and so you can add spread voices and kind of give it a weird. You can hear it a little bit as that it's kind of weirdly, kind of strangely detuning, and you can change the glide, which is that this actually represents the portamento. But now this is what we're actually talking about right now. If I turn this off, it still does. It still plays the scale. But now if I turn it on, it's playing the Dorian scale right here. So if we go into chromatic, it's playing the regular scale. And you also can change that to 54 chords. So that sounds kind of like the original scale here. And I don't know if I have something strange going on in here, but I just initialed it. So I don't have anything in the pitch going crazy. So you have different chords. You have a handful of chords that you can actually choose from here. So that is, in particular, is freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome that you can do that. So all you one button touching people, you're ready to go. I mean, and that goes for me too, because who wants to do something difficult if you can do it easy? No matter how skillful you are of a keyboard player, you always want an easier way to do something that makes stuff quicker. So that's something that makes stuff quicker. And I mean, it has pretty much all basic chord progressions that mankind knows so far. For you trap heads, if you're trying to make more trap sounds and stuff like that, that dark stuff, jazz minor is basically based off of jazz minor. You know, for people that had to go to school, that went to school like me, and had to learn about how, you know, dark sounding stuff, or the history of what dark sounding stuff comes from. Because if you learn jazz, anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and, but jazz is diminished for trap. Stop, dog. Matter of fact, come here. Pardon me, guys. As I'm gonna go ahead and continue here, and you know, there's different things that you actually can change too, as well as you know that you can select this area right here to stop the major sequencing. You actually can control the time of it. In particular, this is the clock to do so. You got some of the whole notes, quarter notes, and all that, and they all represent this right here. So as you can see, it's slower, faster. One of the more awesome things about it, much like how Hive is, you can actually stip key and press on the keyboard and set how you want it to arpeggiate. Awesome. So that's a huge step into it. Unfortunately, it does not have, you can insert MIDI files within this, but don't you fret, because regardless of that not being in there, tons of other features that's going to make up for it, and one huge feature. So going through there, you guys see set the obscure clock, and I haven't really messed with the obscure clock, and I'm pretty sure the obscure clock is basically based on activate the button to enable the obscure clock sequencer. The obscure clock is a 8-step sequencer running at 1/4 note speed. Each step offers a clock control. Use the obscure clock to change the sequencer speed on the fly. Oh, Schmidt. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's what that does. So we're basically going back in here, and we're gonna set this back. And oh shoot, I almost forgot. You actually put a little swing to it, and we're gonna go back to 50%. And you can change the different ways it does. It can go backwards, forward and back. And right now, it can read tapping one note and within you playing a note. And if you're not releasing the previous note, it will not retrigger. What it does is it will latch and play the new note within the sequence within the particular plugin. So keep that in mind, guys. So, and then you have your amp envelope, your modulation, which has your LFO, where you can set your LFOs to any one of these parameters over here, and you can set the envelope so where you can control it. And I believe this is and this is the amp envelope, well, ARP envelope, which controls the amplitude. So having a lot of tail will have tail. And if you don't want that tail, you just bring it in from the release area right here, and it'll stop. And then you have strumming, which is just as ARP, which is represented by these 3 little lines right here. The more the lines are right here, the more of a strum it is. If you bring it all the way over here, uglier it sounds. But no more, all notes will play at the same time. But in my opinion, it sounds ugly. You also can have straight velocity or no velocity, which is represented right here, or you can change it to having velocity, which I don't care for that, but you know, maybe you do, but it's there. So I want y'all to let y'all know that it's there. And then you have your sound area, which I don't know if I actually talked about it because I lost my place, where you can spread your saw to this, which you have spreading the unison. Or if you just wanted to play it saw regiment like that. So, and then you have your natural effects that you want. If you want some chorus in there or delay or reverb, you know, you can just add it using this right here. This the dry. It's right now it's representing dry. So if it's all the way over here, it's wet. So that's that right there. If you want to add reverb to something a little down the line, and now it doesn't have it. And then that's the pan spread, which, oops. We're gonna go and actually look and see that, because I don't want to say something and I don't know what it means. So this is kind of plugging into the ring modulation. So the fader will be in place for the single voices in the stereo field, providing a large and spacey sound and ping pong effect. The left random pan, which triggered A voice will give it a new place within the stereo field. Middle, no effect. Right balance pan, the voice will be evenly spread across the stereo field. So basically, if you have it like this, I guess, and you have easy ring modulation. So they call it pan spreading here, but that's ring modulation in a nutshell of how ring modulation works. So that's awesome. Wow. So overall I'm impressed. We're at 15 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into the presets and play some presets here, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna try to design something. And I already have something in mind because I've been working. So we have some pretty decent presets in here. You have 400 presets. So for all those who don't care much about sound design at all, they got you covered. And boy, do they have you covered. So we have that. That's the first preset you go. And as you see, if you actually, dang, I'm in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and change camera views real quick, and we're going to go into screen cam. As you can see, as I press on the key, the initial key was right here. So that's the key that I'm pressing, and it's cycling through the different chord progression. So that's magnificent. Of that shows you the magnitude of depth in this plugin already through the presets. And then you pretty much can just pick out a preset and then, you know, just reverse engineer it. If you like it, then you have to adjust it. You know, I've already showed you that. So let's talk about this particular preset in general. So as you can see in all this beautiful matrix craziness here, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. You can actually see, you know, the different modulation and chord progression. All these different colors right here pretty much are represented by these dots. So if you was to go into the particular one, you can actually see where the dot placement is at. Now, one thing I didn't talk about, and I'm pretty sure I didn't, is the y-axis. So if you actually go through here and cycle it through to here, and it's on smooth right now. So if I have it on rigid, it'll rigidly go through it, cycle. Step cycle, or just smooth and triples. That particular parameter can actually be set within the morph area right here. So you can actually set this by either by the sequencer or mapping envelope, or mapping it to an LFO, which the LFO is right here. So you can just select. I'm gonna select it now. As you can see, the morphing one is actually going through it right now, and this is the morphing modulation, or the X matrix right here, and it's the Y matrix is what I like to call this. But you know, tooltips, they'll tell you what this exactly is, and it's the parameter shift. So you can actually see it's going through its different modulation. And we're going to go back into morph, and we're going to actually talk about this. So I have it on 1/16. As you see, it's going through the sine wave LFO. And it's smoothly going through there by 12/16. You can set it all the way down to just 31/16 to 32/16. So basically, every preset has different things that you can set through it. As you can see, it's going through the different ways now. So, you know, you have that. As we go into the presets, I just want to see, and this is the master knob too. So, you know, if you're making a sound or whatnot, and you just do not want to deal with that, deal with anything else, or it's too loud for you, just adjust it over here instead of just closing this out and having to go into the mixer in your DAW of choice. And you can actually set this, set how many steps you want for it to fade. And now you can adjust it, of course. And I'm trying to adjust it. There you go. Right there. And this is actually the loop bar right here, where you want how you want it to loop. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna go through one more preset. So I mean, it has tons of stuff. It has tons of stuff. Like I said, 400. So you know, that's gonna go to a little bit more. Look at it, you got nice little Drake OVO type stuff, or if you're just trying to make some chill out. So I mean, they have you covered. I mean, your average VST plugin getter that just wants stuff that's good and sound good or whatever off top, don't have any carnal knowledge on sound design, could just get into this. And, you know, that'd be easy peasy A-okay, and they'd be cool with it. That is awesome. Wow, that's a great sound. Man. Oh, I'm so glad I bought this. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go. We're at 22 minutes right now, so we're going to go into the good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and initial. And from here, from initial, we're going to do a couple of things to the sequence itself. I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to slide everything down. So we're going to slide all this stuff down here. I don't want anything on anything higher than the C scale on the pitch and the chord right now. So you know, I have somewhat of a decent sound right now. I think it's on Dorian. Okay, it's on Dorian. So we're gonna go and talk about the real cool stuff here, and this is the reason why. Like I said, this particular plugin is a sequencer plugin. So what I mean by that, this right here, you can actually pull up third-party plugins within this. So whatever this plugin can't do versus another plugin, you actually can get the power of that plugin or access to those presets that you already have in that plugin by pulling it up inside of here. So in particular, I want to do something cool. I want to do something more or less on some next level sound design. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Image Line's Harmor within this plugin. So as you can see, it actually works in equipment. So that's Image Line Image Line right here. And if you missed it, I pressed this right here, this little mixer thing. That's how you pull up the plugin to look at it. You also can go through cycle through the presets through there, and for some reason it's just not working. It doesn't really work that well, but it does work good enough. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and go into the image tab in Harmor. And I cut out a choir sound that I liked a while ago. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to one-shot it because I don't want it to play that much. So we're going to go ahead and select that. So we have it So we have it in there. I'm going to add a little bit of stuff to it. I'm gonna go and oops. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. I'm gonna add some effect to it. I'm gonna add some reverb. You actually can assign different parameters from that plugin to over here. So it can actually go through this Y matrix over here, the parameter shifter. I for one, I'm not ready to do all that, and you could just do it. I believe this is the button right here. Come on. Yeah, you can learn all, and all you have to do is just click on whatever on that particular plugin, and it will appear in this list over here. And then you also can unassign it by pressing X. So, but I'm not gonna do that. This is what I'm gonna do. So I have this choir sound in here, and don't mind me, I'm actually getting a little joy out of that. I want to make it sound as scary as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the trapper's favorite. So there's a few things I gotta work out here. So I gotta adjust the chords because I want it to be as crazy as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and just experiment and draw a sine. And we're gonna go and draw another sine wave right here. So that is not the business. So I'm not gonna use that arpeggiation. Just draw down. And then I'm gonna go and experiment with pitch. So we have that, and right now it's a fill fish. So it's actually, I'm going through more scales than I want to. I can adjust the pitch a little bit. And I am going to change the directions a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and we're at 28 minutes here, so going to so 54. The 54 chorus is pretty much the coolest one of them all. Perhaps I want to drag it down and make it lower. What would detuning do to it? I actually kind of like that. It's not necessarily 100% what I want, but I'm just gonna go and check out some more chords. I just checked out Ramian. Chromatic is not going to give you much of so I can go and change the scale a little bit. So I'm gonna just go ahead and quit while I'm ahead while I was doing that. But yeah, but that's pretty much the awesomeness of this particular plugin. But yeah, I still got a little working to do myself, and you know that's pretty much it. You have different modifiers right here. Then you can turn off all and it's affect the pitch. And what all does is it if you have all on, it'll affect everything over here. So as you can see it now, it's oh shucks. But yeah, that's basically it. It's your boy DJ Ad McCree. I appreciate everybody for their time. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like this stuff, as another program loads up in there. Oh, I can actually close it out. Close. If you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, you know, ask. Give me any question that you want, and I'll answer it. And if you like this, if this is your first time seeing a video, you know, check out other videos by me as well. I do have other overviews, and you know, check me out, subscribe. I appreciate everybody for their time. This is your boy DJ Ad McCree, and I am out.